As the Emperor's spies told him, Ciri had reached Novigrad. A lone attempt to find her in the North's largest city would certainly fail. But Geralt had friends he could count on. The Witcher decided to contact Triss Merigold.
Leave him alone.
And who might you be? Temple guard undercover?
Call me an admirer of law and order.
Made a mistake coming to this town.
The mistake. Leave him alone.
And if we don't?
This man's not worth your efforts. His shop's drowning in debt.
You're right. Even looks like a pauper. I beg to differ.
Don't even know why I bothered the bugger. My apologies, and fare thee well.
I, gotta go brush my teeth.
Go home, merchant, and try not to come round here anymore.
I will. I mean, I won't. I mean both, yes. Thank you, sir.
Willows.
There's a mage inside, we know it. Piss off, vagrant. Nothing for you here. Piss off, vagrant. Nothing for you here. Remy Villeroy, you are under...
I swear, you're worse than door-to-door peddlers.
Leave, Witcher, or I'll find some iron jewelry for you too.
Help me! They'll burn me! They'll burn me alive! I've done nothing!
Nothing? Nothing? Who concocted those poisonous potions? Who helped the Lodge of Sorceresses, sending them reports via Megascope? Who addled men's minds with magic, eh? I know you, Remy. I know you and your crimes.
That was long past. It shan't happen again.
Oh, we'll make sure it don't. Shackle him! He's cunt too!
Mummy!
Can't allow this.
No one's asking your mind, mutant.
Still think you'll listen to me. Or to my sword.
To me! At him!
Thank you. If you hadn't intervened, they would have killed me. And Louisa and the boy, I tremble at the thought.
Triss Marigold. Find her. Might be able to help you.
I hope so. Take this. I must abandon magic for good. You might still find use for it. Perhaps the next time you encounter mage hunters.
Yeah. Something tells me it won't be long. Farewell.
Bought for work, bought to eat.
Yes, careful, you scamp. This is no regret. It's your fat loss. Oh, I've got a shot.
What is cracking in the sky?
Granddad's sick.
Double shows.
Wait and see, cunt. I'll carve your mug so not even a blind man will...
What's going on here?
Fuck all to do with you. Piss off.
Lady doesn't feel like talking to you.
I can handle this.
Shut your trap.
All right, figure it out without me.
Fuck off, White One. Nobody gives a shit what you think. And you, get your ass moving. Let's go.
You've seen the new waitresses.
Worth seeing.
buxom, he says, from a man already taken by him.
It rains, it pours. Fucking this great cheating hygiene, right in the face now. Personal hygiene.
Just passing by, wanderer? Or do you seek something specific?
Who's asking?
Rudolf de Jonkier. Of those de Jonkiers, yes. My ancestors laid the foundations of this city. I now own its largest bank.
Didn't need a recommendation. Name would have been enough.
Father always said, all ought to know your merits, son. Don't hide them under a bushel.
I'm looking for Corrine Tilly.
Oh, you've come to the right place, then. Corrine is inside. Been there for a few days, dreaming the home's history.
Why do you need to know the house's history? You a historian or on a whim?
I bought this property a short while ago. Paid a pretty penny, I might add. Soon after, I witnessed disturbances. Led me to fear the home might be haunted.
What are the symptoms?
Oh, they vary. Giggling in the night. And furniture moving about in the attic. And last week... well, you shan't believe it. I found human feces in the parlor.
Not interested in what's going on inside? Seeing it for yourself?
I'm a banker. Cursed homes scare me. Do you know how a haunting can affect property value? Point of fact, Corrine requested she not be disturbed.
I'd like to go inside, look around.
I don't usually let strangers rummage around my home. Twin swords, though. You're a witcher. You may enter, call that my whim. Truth is, we're already dependent on the black markets, economically.
That's blood! Don't spill it! Please! Stop! Go away! Don't do that. Leave it!
Wake up. It's just a dream. Wake up.
The doll. The attic.
All right. Time to check the attic.
Put it down, please. That's blood! Don't spill it! Please! Stop! Go away! Leave it! Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please. Stop. Go away. Leave it.
Way to the next room's blocked. There was a cradle on the second floor. Wonder what had happened if I laid a doll in it. Another masterpiece. An oven and a blackened grate. Oh joy. A riddle. Guess I should find an oven.
Boo! Did I scare you? Scared you, didn't I? I could tell you were scared. Big brave man scared of wee little Sarah. Ain't that funny?
I wouldn't do that anymore if I were you, Sarah. You might scare someone so bad they'll hurt you.
Why would someone hurt me? Having a spot of fun's not allowed anymore.
What are you playing?
That lady fell asleep, and I've sent her some horrible dreams. I'll not her wake neither. I can do that, you know. Funny, isn't it?
Very funny. Thing is, I gotta talk to the dreamer, so I'd like you to let her wake up.
Little Sarah doesn't want her to wake. Little Sarah wants to play.
The way you play, well, it's only ever fun for you.
That's because you're a dullard. All you humans are dullards.
You give the dreamer nightmares and won't let her wake up. Why are you tormenting her?
I'm not tormenting anyone. Scary dreams are great. What I love is when this big hen chases me. Hen's got these red...
Why do you live in a haunted house?
Tell you a secret. The house ain't haunted. Not one bit. I just pretend it is. Make everyone think that. It was sitting there all empty, so I moved in. Bigwig from the bank then came and bought it. I don't like bankers, especially not to live with, so I decided to give him a scare.
Gave the banker a really big scare. See, he paid a lot for this house and won't give it up easily, which is why you need to find another home.
I don't want to! I don't! I won't!
Sarah, Novigrad's no place for a godling. But if you want to live here, that's your business. So let's make a deal.
A deal? What kind?
Leave the dreamer alone. In exchange, I'll tell the banker the house is haunted. For good, no way to lift the curse.
You tell him that? What if he doesn't believe you?
I'm a witcher. He'll believe me.
Yes? Yes? Yes! Do that, and I promise not to bother your friend. Not even a little. You're awfully nice, you know.
I don't hear that often. Thanks.
Now go wake that sleepyhead. I won't stop her. She'll get up.
Who are you?
Triss Marigold sent me to see you.
Gods. Horrible nightmares. I was supposed to dream the history of this house. Instead, I saw furniture. Hungry furniture that wished to devour me. I know it must sound foolish, but in the dream, well, it was all too real. And not at all amusing.
The work of a godling. She made people believe the house was haunted. Also injected your dreams with her little jokes.
And you managed to wake me. I feel fortunate.
We witchers have our ways.
I thank you very much. The dreams, they were awful. Any way I can pay you back?
There is, actually. I'm looking for a young woman who was seen in Novigrad.
I can certainly try to help. But I'll need to clear my head first. After those deranged dreams, I feel it's full of cobwebs. Find me at the Golden Sturgeon. I rent a room there.
All right. See you there.
The second... I saw Miss Corinne leave, but she refused to speak to me. Is the matter resolved? Or quite the opposite?
A bit of both. A demon had captured Corinne. I managed to free her, but the house is still haunted.
Did Corinne dream of the building's past?
Yeah. Pretty horrid, apparently, though she refused to talk about it. Nobody should inhabit the place.
So many crowns I paid. Ah, well. It shan't put me in the poorhouse.
Life, you gotta take risks in fun.
Trouble?
Hey, Whitey, why'd your hair go? You're right in the back, so strap in the back.
A dream in here.
Never witnessed a seance like this before, let alone participated.
I will guide you. You must first achieve a kind of mental accord. I must ask some questions. You must answer them. It's important you're truthful. Answer from your heart.
Let's begin.
To start with, tell me a memory you have of this woman.
What for?
Do as I ask, please. I need the strongest, most complete memory you have of...
Ciri. The woman's name is Ciri. I accepted a job once. Did it. Asked to choose my reward, I invoked the law of surprise. Never thought I'd actually meet the child promised to me at that time. Years later, I was in the Broccolon forest. Happened on a girl there. Didn't know who she was. The Dryads wanted to keep her, turn her into one of their own. But the Waters of Oblivion, they failed in her case. Ciri came out of Broccolon with me. I sent her back to her grandmother then. But already, I felt bound to her.
By destiny.
By something more.
Thank you. Would you be willing to share another memory?
Yes.
No need to rush. We have time.
Ciri was orphaned during the Second War with Nilfgaard. Had no idea what to do with a young girl. So I did what I would have done with a boy and took her to Kaer Morhen. Figured some physical training, sword work, development of her stamina couldn't hurt. I remember her standing on a crumbling wall. A stone came loose, she lost her footing. Caught her at the last possible instant. Strongest memory, though, is of her coming out of her room one day, wearing a dress and claiming she was indisposed. Knew then that Ciri was maturing. It was unavoidable. I was lost in the face of that.
I see. Do you wish to tell me anything more?
Yes, I think so.
In that case, I'm listening.
It was after her time training at Kaer Morhen. After the moment when Yennefer first called Ciri her daughter. We'd been separated. I knew she was in danger. I dreamt of her multiple times. I found her at Stygga Castle. She'd gone there to free Yen and gotten herself captured in the process. They wanted to hurt her. I remember fighting side by side with Ciri on stairs slippery from blood. It was the first time she ever deflected a crossbow bolt with her sword. Told her never to try it again.
These memories, they're intense. Do you wish to continue?
I have more to say.
Then please do.
It was in Rivia. The Second War with Nilfgaard had just ended. There was still tension in the air. For gods know what reason, race riots erupted in the town. I tried to do something, but couldn't stop a riled crowd. A boy with a pitchfork. He ran it right through my gut. Yennefer lay dying as well. Ciri had us carried onto a boat. We sailed to a place where apple trees bloom eternal. She left us there. That was the last time I saw her.
You claim the woman has abilities. Tell me about them.
They call Ciri the Lady of Space and Time. Once I asked Yennefer why. She travels between worlds. Turns out I don't know how to talk about it. Didn't really understand much of what Yen told me. I just know there's more to it than traveling to different places, and that Ciri carries immense power in her blood.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else. She's a child of the Elder Blood.
A descendant of bloody Falker. The rebel burned at the stake. The prophecies claim the world's destroyer will be born of the Firebrand's cursed blood.
Pure legend.
Know when a legend transforms into prophecy? When it gains believers. I think you're right to be reticent in talking about the woman. I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else. I remember Ciri having trouble controlling her abilities. Yennefer tried to teach her to cast simple spells, and Ciri destroyed a shed near the temple where they were. Really upset her, but it was just an old shed. I know it took her a while to gain control, and frankly, I doubt she controls her abilities fully to this day.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
No. Can we start?
Naturally. I knew you cared about her. But your tone, the emotions you so carefully conceal.
Let's continue, please.
Make yourself comfortable, and try to relax. You must take my hand and talk of Ciri. Tell me where you think she might be. Who could be at her side?
If Ciri couldn't find me, I'm sure she would have looked for another friend.
Who do you mean?
Maybe Dandelion. They liked each other a lot. Of a swallow at first. After that, just nightmares.
At times, the dreams can multiply. Show the past as well as the future.
The swallow. It symbolizes Ciri. She contacted Dandelion. I didn't know he was in town.
The poet. Heard about him. Someone left him the rosemary and thyme in their will.
The rosemary and thyme? Where's that?
As you enter the city through the red light district, you come upon a bridge. The rosemary is just past it.
Dandelion inherited a brothel?
So I've heard.
Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Witcher. I hope you find your Ciri. Yes?
I said it already, I haven't the time.
Why are you looking at me cross-eyed, Grey Boy? Rum and supper, I never.
We can go at it here.
One drink and I had.
Will's mightier than the sword, oh yes.
It's like a racehorse.
You should not have come to the city. You'd be better off staying in the...
So, how do you go with this season?
Oh, out minding your own business.
What's your hair lately?
wanted braids.
But I didn't want my hair pulled.
Can't have one without the other.
Then I... Witcher. Kareem, look who's come.
Huh. Live here together now? Didn't know.
Once you told me Sarah had been responsible for my nightmares, I decided to see if the devil's as scary as they paint him. Or her. I came in to find not a fiend, but our little Sarah. And I can't say why, but we took a liking to one another immediately.
Long ago, to isolate themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find.
There must be order.
Bad idea.
Yes? Who are you here for?
Triss.
Decent house for decent folk.
Don't worry, won't stay long.
Yes, Geralt?
See, you kept the rose of remembrance I gave you in Flotsam.
Seems so long ago. Probably because so much has changed.
So, sentimental value. That why you kept it?
Partly, though more as a warning.
Been in Novigrad long?
Long enough to know how not to get caught and survive.
And before you came here, where were you?
Oh, places where I managed to get by without your help, too. Which doesn't mean I'm not happy to see you.
Look what I picked up.
Artifact compression. Someone got themselves enchanted in this figurine.
Intend to decompress?
Of course. Whoever cast the spell on the poor soul must have forgotten about him.
Looks like a nobleman.
Could be just that. Come with me. I can't perform the ritual here. Everything's ready. Let's get to work.
Place is pretty grim.
True. It looks like a vampire's hideout. Which is why we can be pretty sure no one will bother us here. Give me the figurine and stand back.
Let's try it. Think it's a nobleman.
Be on your guard. It could be something far more dangerous. In Allen, Dwan, Ar Ice.
No! Coral, no! I can explain everything!
Coral?
I never looked at the lass. You are my one and only. Oh, you're not Coral. Some succubus. A delusion. Where am I?
So Coral enchanted him. Just like her.
If there's a more vindictive sorceress, I don't know her. Well, except maybe...
Coral's not here? In that case, come to me, succubus.
What is your name?
We're in Novigrad. Novigrad.
In Novigrad? Last I recall, I was in Oxenfurt, and Coral was furious. How can she demand fidelity when she herself is wanton as
youthful goats.
Exactly. Damn it! I feel as if I've been trampled by a herd of cattle. I've no notion what she did to me, but it seems you've delivered me from my misfortune. Here, take this. Have a good time. Paint the town Coral.
Whose taste has grown worse since you were sleeping with her. Come on, the kind-hearted gentleman will get along fine on his own.
got my eye on you.
I never come back, you stinking scadges.
All's we wanted was...
Next time I'll rip your fucking legs off and shove them up your arse till you've toes for teeth. Get out in the nick of time, as always.
Zoltan, with your boot to someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local colour. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs. All right, time for some spring cleaning. I've got to boot them all out. Care to join me?
With pleasure. Given me no choice.
Reminds me of our days of war.
Yeah, almost like we never left Bergen.
I'm pleased. That went well. Now we can greet each other like the gods ordained. Ages, pal.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Training plenty lately. What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You, though, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
Got some problems. Rather not burden you.
Fuck off, Geralt. Need to spill your guts to me now.
I'm looking for Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
There's a few things.
Let me guess. Triss? Yennefer, perchance?
Triss and I talked. Cleared some things up. As for Yennefer, well...
So you found her? Ha! Need to tell me all about it.
I will. Some other time. Got something a tinge more important to take care of now.
Meaning?
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe you could explain what the hell's going on. I just barely returned, as you saw. Expecting to come home to you hot like a boar in some cold ale, and what do you find instead? A shitestorm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Haven't a clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
From the finest vineyards, every last one.
No one knows the fruit of the vine like Dandelion. Aha! A note from a grateful muse.
Reading someone else's letters.
My visage red and hot. I plunged into purest ecstasy and babe...
This the loot he got from the elves of Dol Blathanna.
Aye. Must have been in a great rush to leave it behind.
The faculty of Oxenfurt University is honored to grant Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount de Letenhove, the title of Master of the Seven Liberal Arts.
Keep forgetting he's got that damn fool name.
10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's his planner.
Seems Dandelion's taking the tavern business seriously.
If you only knew. Gives it everything. Not seen him this obsessed ever. Seems when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, who'd he been seeing of late? Here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late, the dog.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Sulle?
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
And you figure that's unnatural because...
Wonderful. Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
I see you made it.
Oh, let it go, Jarrett. Come on, we need another night under.
Still here? Looking for something?
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone. Though well she knows the touch of silken lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly. Keeps things tidy for the Baroness Lavalette.
A baroness within reach and he settled for a chambermaid?
Dandelion's not one to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects, examines it from all perspectives. If I didn't know him better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well, the tales he told me about her.
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not. Things between them took a turn for the strange at some point.
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian, referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh, truly perverse.
He didn't ken half of it. Called him a stallion once. That's the fool took it as a compliment, till she pulled a bit in the reins into her cupboard. Oh, poor bastard fled out the window.
Vespula. Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like a consumptive pheasant.
That's her.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility, to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf. Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarfs, what Rosavar Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh? Her dad's a Novgardian aristocrat with the Imperial Legation. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But we, Rosa, preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
More than one, it seems. Week on week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. Instructor.
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Finderbeard'd be jealous.
You want to take this one, then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
See, elven beauty's like a young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay...
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Take this coin and leave.
That ain't how it works. Vespula's to pay or be taught a lesson.
Already given her a verbal reprimand. Now go, before I teach you a lesson.
Come on. Gold's gold.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you... Oh, I know you. You're that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
Explain something if you don't mind. You say I took Dandelion out whoring.
So he said. Claimed I was his one and only. But he fell in with the wrong folk. You and that dwarf who always looks like a cow licked him. Said you two were a bad example. Wine, women.
Song. He picked that habit up from us too? Gotta have a word with him. What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
Welcome. Do come in.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elial.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, down your socks?
You Elial?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elial was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elial.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
I know this is none of my business, but why do you...
Why do I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested. What did you and Dandelion talk about? He ask about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me. Greetings. Come to look over my spring collection, perhaps?
Glad to take a glance at what you got.
Of course, please do. If anything chafes or pinches, I can alter it on the spot at no charge. Once I'm done, it'll feel like you're wearing nothing at all.
So long.
Duty calls.
Looking to make some coin too, eh?
Must have broken many a heart, eh, Dan?
Your blade. Why not at your waist like everyone else?
You'll not find much to
The
do
second
with
sword,
Novigrad.
is it in case the first one springs?
Just this morning, my Gwitter came back from the market for news.
This baronet's La Vallette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Geralt of Rivia at my doorstep? Surely this is no chance encounter?
Greetings, Baroness. Greetings, General. You're right. I'm here for a reason.
There's no mistaking you. But for etiquette's sake, Mary Louisa Lavalette and to meet and know each other. Surprising.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to, talk when the Emperor summoned me to Vizima.
Had you run afoul of Var Emrys? No. You'd be long dead if that were so. It seems, then, that you share some interests. But I shan't question you out of doors. Will you accept my invitation? Tell me what brings you here.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
My maidservant. I'm afraid she's currently at the home of my dear friend Patricia Vegelbud.
Perhaps Geralt could accompany us. He could speak with Molly at the races.
Is that something you'd consider, Witcher? Care to partake of some sophisticated diversion?
Well, if Molly'll be there.
On our way, then. We've arrived.
My father owned a similar estate in Bruges. As a young girl, I'd travel there often to ride.
Shall we look at the horses? Do you like horses, Geralt?
I guess so. Called every horse I've had Roach.
The grey mare is Cantarella, sired by Cahir, the champion from Vol.
Grey's a nice color. For horses, too.
My coin's on the Black Stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General. Know anything about the chestnut or the bay?
The chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Britannian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Is Molly a horse?
Pardon?
I did come here to see Molly, after all.
Patience, Witcher. She ought to arrive soon. I asked Molly to join us as soon as she was done with her chores. She shouldn't be long now.
All depends what you asked her to do, milady. But I don't really have a choice. I'll wait. Seem to know your horses.
No is not the word. Morvran's a true expert.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle. Made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
Why not? Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Well said. So, which steed do you choose, Witcher?
Heard tales of Zerrikanian horses. I'll ride the bay.
I'll not ride with you, but I shall bet on a steed. Nemrod will win, no matter the rider.
Cantarella for me, then. I see no point in delaying this. Let's begin.
Riders, ready!
I adore the speed, the rush of air.
Come on.
Witcher! Let's see what you're made of! Don't spare
Let's
the
go!
horse. I adore the speed, the rush of air! Come on, Witcher! Let's see what you're made of!
What a thrill! A beautiful victory!
Thanks.
For one for whom every horse is a roach, you carry yourself exquisitely in the saddle. My congratulations. That is yours.
Now, could I talk to your chambermaid, milady?
Ah, yes, Molly. That is why you came here after all. The portly young woman. That's her.
Speak to her. And you must find us when you're ready to return to Novigrad. We'd be delighted to join you for the journey.
Another drifter in from Temeria.
I'm Molly, my lord. Wish to see me?
Call me Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelion's rescued time and time again!
That's right. Except it's the other way around. I'm always saving him.
Mean to say it weren't Dandelion saved you in Flotsam by severing your noose with an arrow from 100 paces?
What? Dandelion couldn't... Never mind. Any idea where our master archer might be at the moment?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. The Baroness don't approve of our acquaintance. Says Dandelion's a good-for-nothing layabout. Can you imagine? But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias. But I've not seen him since.
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister?
Sure he does. Saw him myself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Mm-hmm. Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
Know where I can find her, Dandelion's sister?
I know. Whenever I ask Dandelion when we visit her, he'd grow all quiet and then change the subject.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait. Before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks, and good luck to you on your search.
Sick of it all.
Ah, Geralt, there you are. Shall we return together?
Gladly. It's a long way to Novigrad. Road ought to seem shorter with some company.
I'd say the same. Well then, let's go. And here we are.
Likewise. See ya.
This morning, my friend came back from the market with news. Some mysterious murders happening in some house. You reckon it's going to be a mad typicals?
Ah!
Excuse me. I'm looking for Marabella.
I am she. Wait outside. Class is in session.
I'll wait.
It won't take long. It turns out he'll not come after all. Why not? A rat bit him, and he's caught a fever.
Where'd you get bit? It hurt him much. My mummy says hello. Don't die from rats, stupid.
Yes, you do. Just the other day I saw a witch hunter tell a man, "You rat," and then he killed him.
Liar.
That's enough. We're done for the day. Gather your things and go home.
Wonder if the rat catcher will get well. Like as not.
How do you know?
Mum says that if he but catches a cough, he's as good as in the grave. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a witcher by the toe. If he sees you, let him go. Run away and don't be slow.
Now can we talk?
Yes. What do you want?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh, yes. Longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems?
No. We perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
Found a poem Dandelion wrote about you. Portrayed you as an unusually talented individual.
Really? Did he mention my poetry? Horses have always fascinated me. I've always longed to extol their noble beauty. Did you see any of my work at Dandelion's? Mere exercises, true, but I'd be curious to know what you thought of them.
No. Didn't see any.
Gee up! A snakely whip rose skyward. Gee-haw! Crack! She reined the beast in. The stallion danced betwixt her thighs. Lather bathed its chinny chin.
Sorry, don't know much about poetry. See Dandelion after the fungus incident?
No. I even considered granting him another chance. His heart of hearts is pure gold. He simply needs a bit more discipline in his life. But he never came back to see me. So I thought if it's done, it's done.
Thanks for your help. Farewell.
My mummy says hello. Excuse me.
One drink, all I had. told him not to stick his arse where he don't belong.
Little ways about it.
Gotta take the pansy all the way to the garden.
Hey, keep your distance.
My dad doesn't like him. Granddad's sick. You know.
What do you want?
Rosa var Atra's expecting me. Supposed to give her lessons in swordplay.
Come with me. Miss Rosa awaits. I hope you realise what you've got yourself into.
Hope so too.
Miss Rosa's got a downright beastly temper. Shows no mercy once she grips a sword.
In the air. You know it. It's burning flesh.
Grab a wooden one. Take care not to hurt the little miss. You'll earn the ambassador's ire. Follow me.
Ooh. You're my new instructor. Well, Papa clearly went out of his way this time. Wood, to start with. I must know your worth.
Come on, come closer.
Why bother with two swords when you can... Damn it! Well fought. You're much better than the last one.
I'm not actually your swordplay instructor.
Really? Then who are you? And how on earth did you get in?
I'm a witcher. I'm looking for...
A witcher? That's splendid. I always wanted to meet a witcher. This is so exciting.
What's so exciting about it?
Living on the edge. Tracking, then facing down beasts. Sleeping under the stars. Oh, it must be wonderful.
Try fighting a Zoogle while up to your neck in sewage. Nothing quite like it.
Not one of the high points, I suppose. Wait, weren't you about to ask me something?
Before I ask, gotta admit, you do pretty well with a sword. One pointer. Don't expose your left flank when you dodge.
Oh, I know. Terrible habit. Can't seem to get rid of it. I'd hoped to find someone in Novigrad who could help me to do so. But don't you dare try to dazzle me with advice. Already admitted you're not here to give me lessons.
Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us. I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship.
If you call him chasing after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch.
Ah, that stench.
Be one. Fancy giving me a few private lessons?
Can't rightly refuse a request from a lady.
What are you two lovebirds whispering about? You asked about my relationship with Dandelion? Well, here's the mix-up's mastermind. Edna var Atra, the greatest mischief maker north or south of the Yaruga.
Wait a minute. Mean to say Dandelion mixed you two up?
On occasion, yes. But then Rosa would quickly set him straight. If you'd shut your catty mouth for a moment, dear little sister, I could explain. Edna sent Dandelion some love letters. She signed my name. Conceited as he is, naturally he fell for it. I was left to repel the aging bard's advances. Rosa, I had the best of intentions, you know that. I felt you needed help taking the first step. You blushed every time he sang a ballad. He'll next sing at your funeral if you don't stop it right now.
Calm down, ladies. No poet's worth two sisters nipping at each other's throats.
Especially not this one.
Listen, I just want to know one thing. Either of you seen Dandelion lately?
Edna might have. I certainly have not. My dear sister, I would never spend time alone with a man for whom you burn with a secret passion. Burn with passion? For one who incessantly praises another woman's talents? Afraid I've more sense than that.
Dandelion act any different lately? Notice anything strange?
Strange? Not really. It's no use, Geralt. She's so enamored she'd hardly notice if he turned into a werewolf. Edna! What? You needn't pretend he followed convention. Remember when he took us to the cemetery?
Rhetoric lessons in a cemetery. Unusual even for Dandelion.
We set out to visit the graves of celebrated Oxenford professors. He ended up quizzing us about Margrave Henkel.
Who?
Eccentric old coot. Died recently. He'd apparently been an important and generous patron of the arts as a young man.
What are two young Nilfgaardian aristocrats doing in Novigrad?
Dying of boredom. Papa's a diplomat. He also has many business dealings in Novigrad. He's a member of the Trade Corporation. Takes us along everywhere he goes, and must then find us new tutors in each spot. And so in Novigrad, the task fell to the poet Dandelion, Rosa's betrothed. Edna!
Bet sophisticated young ladies like you know a bunch about politics.
We've picked up a few things. What would you like to know?
Emperor continuing to push north. Courtiers must be ecstatic.
His confidants must be. But Papa says that's not likely to last much longer.
Why not?
Papa says the war's disrupting trade, and people are tired of financing the Emperor's adventures.
Wonder how the war's going. Any outcome looming?
Papa says much depends on Radovid, and on who captures Novigrad first.
What's Novigrad got to do with it? Free city. Never taken sides. Always stayed out of conflicts.
Oh, even children know Novigrad's home to the world's largest fleet. And they say the city's treasury's bursting with enough to equip 2 armies.
Changing subjects. Who'd Dandelion sing about? Know anything about her?
I believe she's a poetess, or trabaritz. Very skilled and exceptionally talented, of course.
This woman. Not a local, right?
I seem to remember him praising her melodious Kaviri accent. Makes sense. He referred to her as Kalonetta a few times. Bizarre names are common in Kavir.
Gotta ask Zoltan about this Kalonetta. Been a pleasure, but I've got stuff to take care of.
Exceedingly nice to meet you. Please come again. Well, can I expect any more lessons in future?
Awfully convincing, miss. Wonder where you learned it. Name the time and place.
House here, tomorrow. Same time as today.
See you then.
See you, Master Witcher.
No bread, no coin, all is shite.
So, how do you go with this thing? I was even a bit up minding my own business when suddenly up he pops and heals me. Eating at the Kingfisher, you're sorted for at least 2 days. Just got to adjust the...
No loitering round here.
How are you keeping us? Monsieur Zoltan, you old buck. What's this? Ah, you're back! You met Poppy? She ought to start talking any day now.
That Field Marshal Duda's replacement? The Marshal was a parrot, you do remember, right? Where'd you get her?
At auction. Some mage's estate went under the hammer. Witch hunters and the Eternal Fire joined forces, staked out his place and rounded the sorry sap up, put his things up for sale. Happened to be passing by and saw this out. Came with her own cage.
How could you resist?
Could they? Weren't possible. Ah, but Dandelion's what matters now. So, how'd you do? Learn much?
Tell me what you've got first.
A few bruises and a torn doublet. Otherwise, not much I note. He wasn't staying with any of them. Not seen hiding or hair of him in ages. All I learned was a few of Dandelion's pickup lines. Dubious worth.
Let's hear him. I'm all ears.
You know how he wooed a lass studying natural history? Asked her about the habits of trolls. You know where he went with the cook from the Passiflora? The Oxenford Novigrad Road, which has just now been repaired. Made us stare for hours as labourers crushed boulders into cobblestones, trying to pass it off as a romantic outing. I don't know about human woman, but that would bore a dwarven lass to tears. He's growing old, that poet of ours.
Maybe. Or maybe he did all that for a reason.
Sounds like you found something out.
Women on my list hadn't seen Dandelion in a while. All claimed he had been acting strange. Also mentioned he'd been seeing someone else. Thing is, Mystery Woman wasn't on my list.
What's she supposedly like, this lass?
Blonde, from Kovir. A Troberitz, apparently, named Kalinetta or something like that.
That makes it clear as crystal. It's Priscilla. Aye. Must be her.
Why wasn't she on the list?
This Priscilla wasn't like the others. I think Dandelion Wallen fancied her. I think it was fervour.
He lusts after every other woman he meets.
How can I explain? Who does Dandelion love most?
Himself.
Exactly. And she's his mirror image.
What can I say? Could be he finally met his match.
She's his match, all right. Maybe more. The laddie's head's on fire. Lassie's got him whirling.
All right. Guess we gotta talk to her.
Priscilla works for the Mummers troupe. Reynard and the Foxen. Whenever they're in town, she performs nightly at the Kingfisher.
Mean we've been sentenced to an evening of poetry?
Must you always? This'll be true poetry, Geralt. You'll see.
Everyone knows you can wear a quiver. But not swords, amateur.